Go.
Okay, hey everybody, my name is Aaron Lordson, and today what I want to talk about are camp hacks, and specifically the first camp in my camp hack series on YouTube. Camp hacks are typically anything, whether it's an object or a practice we use as bushcrafters, woodscrafters, outdoors people, that make our lives easier. So typically when we get on site, we go onto a camp, we want to create, but we're starting from scratch, so we need to meet our needs. We're looking for water, we're looking to create fire, find a shelter location, build that shelter, things of that nature. Once we have our basic needs met, we start to branch out and really start to do what our craft allows us to do, which is create. We start to build reflection walls, drying racks, furniture like chairs, raised beds, things of that nature. All the while that we're doing that, we don't know it, or maybe we do, we're also creating hacks that make our life easier and allow us to enable these structures to go up. So my favorite camp hack, and the one I'm going to focus on today, is one that's very much undervalued, underestimated, underappreciated, but it has so many uses. It's multi-purpose, and it's a great tool to add to your kit for around the camp. It's a ladder. So this ladder, for example, is about 8 feet tall, but you can scale it to 2 feet, to 10 feet, whatever you need to meet your needs. But this is a true bushcraft ladder in that it's created just from 2 saplings and notches, just dovetail notches. There's no cordage or anything or hardware holding this thing together. So the uses of this are so many. Like I said earlier, you can use this for foraging, to get up into trees, for nests, for eggs, for fruit, anything like that. If you want to get up to a deer stand for hunting, excellent piece of kit for that. You can use this also for, crossing obstacles, whether it's a fissure or a creek. Raised bed between two stumps. Okay, just put more saplings across it. You can use it as an emergency stretcher if you want, as a chair even. So just by resting it against a tree or wall, you can use it as a really comfortable lounging chair, or alternatively as a toilet. So it's a great piece of kit. It's a true bushcraft piece of kit, totally undervalued. I think everybody should have it. It's made just with notches, and I'm going to show you how.
Cheese.
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 Cheese, baby. Watch out, River Jude.
Cheese, Daddy.
Cheese. That's a different kind of caramel. What I've done here for our bushcraft cordless ladder, made only of notches, is as I've just gone and gathered the material. So all I've got here is 2 saplings. They're about 2.5 to 3 inches diameter at the widest point, and then I've cut 5 rings, which are about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter for the actual ladder part. Once you have your spacing for your rungs out, then it's time to make the notches. So simply divide your two ends there. Go down roughly about 1 inch. Okay, that's your center cut, and then your outside cuts, because you're making basically a dovetail notch, are just slight angles, very slight angle, because by the time you get down to 1 inch, it's going to be really wide. And all that center cut does, it just allows you to pop out those notches when you actually have your angles in. So you can use a jig. You can create a real simple jig to do all your notches, which I've done in the past. But for something like this, bushcraft work, it's very crude. As long as it's strong and it does its job, that's really all that matters. Now, the thing is too, and I'll show you later when I start doing the rungs, is that it's easier to make the notches a little bit big and the rungs loose, and then put wedges in there to tighten them up, than it is to, put them too tight, bang them in, and then crack the wood, which I've done so many times. And that's an easy fix too. All you have to do is grab a piece of cordage or snare wire to mend the break in the wood. But the idea here is that you can build this stuff without the cordage.
Hold up, Daddy.
Okay, so I've got all of my notches cut out. All the dovetail notches, as you can see, are cut out. Enough for 5 rungs. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and install the actual rungs. So when you're creating your notches here, or when you're adding your rungs to the notches, it's just a matter of simply lining them up like this. Once you have them lined up rough, just grab your knife, okay, like so. Try to use most of that hardwood up. Just grab your knife like so, and then just make a really quick score. It doesn't have to be perfect, like that. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll score the back, because that's where the cut started. Okay, and once I have my scores, I will simply just make a kerf line based on the thickness of the actual log. Okay, like that thickness maybe. And I'm just gonna make a kerf down to roughly to that depth on each one of these score lines. It'll make it a lot easier to baton out. I always do the back first. And it's just, there's no reason, no rhyme or reason, it's just what I do. This one's going to be the tough one because it's got a knot there. I'll have to neaten that up a little bit. What are you doing, babe?
See Daddy.
Oh, you're going to see Daddy. Okay, just be careful because I have a knife here, okay? Let's just see how that fits really quickly here. And then we'll neaten it up. Right, baby? So there you go. Perfect. So I made it a little bit larger, which is okay. When I go to put it in, all I'll simply do is I'll just use a wedge to tighten it up, and I'll do that right now. It's a highlight for me coming out here with my little girl.
Yeah.
This is time well spent. And that's it. So by making it a little bit larger than what I needed, or making the actual dovetail a little bit smaller, I guess, it's very easy to correct. Now, this is the tricky part. So it's pretty tight. If I go too fast, I'm going to crack this wood, which, like I said before, is not a huge deal. I can always lash it, but I would rather not use any cordage for this bushcraft ladder. So just nice and slowly. And normally I don't leave my tools out like this when I'm working, but when it's a tool intensive job like this and you're constantly picking up and putting down, and you really don't have time to put into the sheath every tool you have. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. I'll just buck that off a little bit. All right, let's try it out. We're involved, so let's see if it works. Beautiful. Okay, what you saw me build today was the very best camp hack the world has ever seen, in my opinion. That is the true bushcraft ladder, and I say it's the true bushcraft ladder because it's super simple, resource friendly in that it was built only using notches. There's no hardware, there's no cordage involved. It's just notches and time. It was a 2-hour time investment. Certainly wasn't hard at all, but for the time investment I get a huge value back at my camp. I can use this thing when I'm foraging to get up in trees safely, to reach for those apples, to reach for those eggs. I can use it when I want to set up a deer stand or any kind of stand for hunting. I can use it to lounge around my camp as a bed, as a chair. I can use it to smoke meat or dry stuff over the fire. I can use it to cross obstacles. It's just a very unique piece of kit. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Aaron Lawrence, and I'll have a lot more videos to follow in this series of camp hacks, and also in trapping, hunting, building structures, and just bushcraft in general. So I'll see you really soon.